Tomorrow. I
Saturday
think they said.
Yeah,
Getting
I
better.
heard. But then down to 19 at the weekend,
Yeah, I know.
at night.
Like trying to drive back on Sunday.
Snow
you know?
again.
Right,
maybe
yeah,
on
you
Friday.
come back.
How long have you been?
But it was fun road trip.
6 months.
Oh,
Full month.
Wow. What'd you do before that?
I was a
No,
regional manager retailer for 30
Oh, okay.
years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so,
Don't those
It was fun
changes
for a minute, but
yeah, well, I look forward to it my whole life. I mean, that's no event.
it was.
Normally I'd be on the
beautiful.
phone all day trying to coerce people to go into their stores.
Yeah.
I get
I
with
felt
anybody
bad.
but
My
myself.
son wanted to play. I mean, we played a little bit, but there wasn't much.
My son
And then it
does the
got
same
dark.
thing, so I got to listen to it through him, but.
And then it started
yeah,
coming
I'm
down.
tiresome.
And I was like, oh, it'll be there in the morning. We'll play it in the morning. And then it was all
Oh,
night.
Yeah.
I'm like, overnight, really?
How you liking the residential real estate world?
I love it. Yeah, I do.
Maybe Monday we'll get some more.
I'm used to working 70 hours, you know, so what's an investment? Your time. Anytime you spend, any extra you do. When before you work for someone else where it's a salary, didn't matter how much you were, you know, it helped you be successful, but didn't generate any more income.
College, you know?
And this, I don't know how much you want to put into it.
Yeah.
I was still doing 6 hours. So get to those hours.
Yeah.
And it'll work out well for you.
Oh, I'll make some more fun.
Yeah, I just, works out good. I just kind of do shift. I take Wednesdays off and that way I'll just work the weekend because the weekends are crap.
Stuck my way on the 26th.
Which one?
Hello,
Good morning.
how are you?
Good, how are you? Good to see you all.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
Hello,
See
Megan.
you, Hattie.
yeah. Normally I let it
Rusty.
I put it down.
Oh, it's so chilly.
It is.
I walked last night, and you can tell in that wind. I'm ready for spring.
My dog was
What?
ready to come back early.
You did
Oh,
something different, didn't you?
every day is something different with my hair. Every day. You know, if it's raining, I look like a chichilla pet. If it's not raining, it's a little flatter.
So if it's bad one day, you can always look forward to the next.
Exactly. It's never gonna be the same.
Mine's pretty consistent.
That's why I'm
Well,
decorating them all.
that's
I do
good.
one a week.
That's
And then by
good.
Thanksgiving, I'll-
That's smart.
It's a small group today.
Yeah, I was afraid of that. Usually it's at your house.
But she knows where. If she has to go find something.
One of the joys of the holiday season. Okay, good, thank you. They're current salary.
If we finished our house, you and Craig, like,
Yeah, hey Greg, good to see you.
it all worked out.
I'm his other half.
I remember. It's great to see you all. Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's about to get busy.
I hope so. Yeah. Yeah. Lots of pretty cool, a lot of different conferences
Yeah. I mean, Fred.
Good to see you all.
Back to softball soon?
No, we tried playing last week.
I'm sure.
The toddler, my mother-in-law, who lives with.
Okay, great.
Started working. So, yeah. It's like that again. Hard right now.
Those darn kids.
Days are like, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so. I know what's facing you the next morning, totally.
Rusty, how you doing?
Good, sir, how are you?
Good. Good to see you. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, it worked. That's always a good weekend, right?
I'm low there.
Yeah, people are back out. Finally.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, actually, if people call and want to see houses. Everybody gets shelter.
Good morning, how y'all doing? Happy New Year. See you all, how you doing? So far, how's the business?
Today was
Busy, busy.
I like
back to
that.
usual traffic.
I like that.
Blueberries.
Good morning, how are you?
It's Heather.
I know it is, I see you, it's fabulous.
Everybody said they don't recognize me, so I feel like I need to
I
reintroduce
recognize your
myself.
smile.
I know, I didn't know it was her.
She was fabulous, didn't she?
Yes.
You are, we are one of, I think, that we're at
Okay.
the,
Yay.
one of us.
Those will have stuff to use.
You'll be bored because you've already heard it. once
No, I'm
before.
never good.
Never.
You haven't heard us recently.
Yeah, but she's heard us before. so.
I'm not gonna be bored. I brought my pad. No. So,
Well,
Are you on?
that's
Good
more
morning.
than a lot of people got done this
Let's
year.
go ahead and get started. Can someone give me some good news today?
We can get some good news back.
I'll give you good news. Now, you're gonna think I'm weird, but I started my taxes. I feel really
Yay,
good.
taxes.
Yeah. I know.
We don't see you guys. Good morning. We don't see you online. We just see a blue screen. Oh, got it. Okay, never mind.
Good, anyway, no, I'm glad you got your taxes started. I'm thinking about mine about, sometime in February. And,
That's not bad.
That's not bad at
February's
all.
still good.
Still not March 29.
I mean,
It's still not March 29. So it's
exactly
still
right,
good.
exactly right. We actually still have time, okay? Anybody else has some good news they want to share? What about in Michelle called Television Land? And Carrie Green could not be here today because she's flying back from someplace, so. Does that surprise anybody that Carrie was someplace fun this weekend? My best friends were someplace warm, where it was like 80-some degrees this week. I'm thinking, great, and I was here. That's good. Who saw snow? Who's had enough snow now?
Nope.
I've had enough. I've had enough. You had enough, go to Chicago. You know what guys say. Anyway, when I was going to church on Sunday, our church was open on Sunday, it was pouring down the big place of snow. I thought, maybe I should go back home. I thought, no, Jim, it's 35 degrees. It's not going to freeze the road. So I went and enjoyed it. So it was actually cool. All right, anybody has something else they want to share? It was fun with the snow.
Prior to the snow, just hats off to the ALC. Everybody on the ALC that's given up their time to service to the office.
Yeah, we did have a great ALC event last week. It went well, great speakers, and we have a lot of great plans for this year. But I love the ALC loves to serve others, which is absolutely great. So guys, thank you so much. And thank you for all of our sponsors, guys. It was a wonderful event. And we thank you, ALC, for serving. Thanks, Jeff. Anybody else? Well, let us then move on. And who was up? Oh, wait a minute.
Good morning, Keller Williams.
Good morning.
Buenos dias, buenos dias.
I'm Jeff Hart, and that's mi amigo, your Milo Camilo. right?
Hola, hola.
Hola, hola. So I wanted to share some pretty beady information with you. Kind of our, the industry forecast, and then what our goals are. And because we're in partnership together, we're in partnership to serve others together. And so part of that comes from sharing. I thought it was pretty interesting. Now these numbers, and I know they're hard for you all to see on the screen, but these numbers were as of housing forecasts from Fannie Mae as of December. And if you look over here to the far right, you see 2021, they're forecasted to end up units sold for new homes, or not just new homes, but new and existing homes at 6,920,000. 2022, they're forecasting to go down by 1.4% to 6,821,000. And by 2023, to go down another 3% by 6,500,000, 6,562. So, 1.4%, and this is after a 7.1% increase from 2020 to 2021. So, of course, these are national numbers. You got to think about Atlanta as a market is going to be stronger than Detroit, right? So, I mean, people would rather live here than there. Atlanta's going to be stronger than, Buffalo, right? I mean, why would anybody move to Buffalo? There's a lot of reasons to live here. Anyway, so, even though the market may go down overall, we should continue to have continued growth. Real interesting, though, is if you look at mortgages, the mortgage industry, because refinances are going away, the mortgage industry is going to take about a 33% drop. So that means that there's 33% less opportunity if you're in the mortgage business. So Better.com has already, there's some big mortgage companies, Better.com has already announced laying off 9% of their workforce. Other companies that focus, and go ahead and go to the next slide. This shows, how Supreme Lending compares to other top lenders. You look at Mr. Cooper / Nation Star down at the end, only 3% of their volume last year was purchase business. 76% of Supreme Lending's was purchase business. And I would think, Silverton is probably pretty purchase heavy too. Fairway Independent Mortgage was our closest competitor at 61%, but everybody else had more than 50% refinance. If you're focused on refinance, underwriters, operators, processors, closers, they're not thinking about appraisal contingencies. They're not thinking about financing contingencies. They're not thinking about those kind of things. So that's why it's so important to partner with the company that's purchase focused. And that's just been our philosophy from day one. Go to the next slide. You all have heard this before, but our vision is to become the best mortgage banking company, not the biggest, but the best. Our mission is serving others before self. It's very similar to your core values. And our inspiration is to deliver the industry's best customer service. Go to the next one. So where we were for 2021, our customer satisfaction, either ranking as 4 stars or 5 stars. 97.75% of the customers ranked as satisfied or very satisfied. Closed on time and funded on time. What does that mean? That means we close on the close date at the time that the closing was originally scheduled, didn't have to move back, and it funds within an hour from the time closing starts, right? So a big secret of that is closing with Thomas & Brown, not the company that begins with W that's really big, right? Because those closings take longer, right? If you want to get in and out, close with Thomas & Brown. Close on time, fund on time, application to close. So from the time, the date that the closing, from the time they make application to the time we close is 19 days. The industry average, by the way, last year was 51 days. And we can close a loan in as little as 8 business days. It's 8 business days because that's what's federally regulated. So our goals for 2022, we want to step it up for customer satisfaction. We want 90% top box. What does that mean? That means that 90% of our customers, when they fill out the questionnaire at the end of closing, they said that they're very satisfied, not just satisfied, but very satisfied. We know the rest will come on time. We want to go from 90 to 99 point, or from 99 to 99.5 close on time. And we want our application to close in 15 days, so even faster. We want to step that up even faster. We're regulated to 8 days as soon as 8 business days as soon as we. So, any questions? So I can't tell you how many, we had a record year with you all. You all have been so kind to us and Supreme. We love our partnership. We're in culture together. I mean, there's, the leadership in this office, the staff is phenomenal and the best part of the agent. So thank you very much.
Jeff, hello. Just as a reminder that we have an event on Thursday.
Oh, thank you.
Guys, yes, I mean, this information that Jeff presented was really outstanding, and we have to be prepared for any changes coming along this year, next year. And that's why you thought, or you're thinking, or you heard about, creating your goals. And you're gonna receive some information in the chat and on Facebook, but on Thursday at 3 p.m., we have our personal and professional best program. We have Dr. Kevin Elko, and he's a motivator, join us to help us create a specific plan for success so we all can have the best year ever. So this is free. This Dr. Elko, is being with the Alabama football team. You're gonna see, I'm gonna send you right away some information right there so you can check it out, but take advantage of this. We don't want you to work with us just for the mortgage. Of course, yes, we want you to work with us for mortgage, but also we want to provide you with some tools that help you on your personal and professional life. So I'll send this information. Thanks, that's it.
Guys, as you all know, about 3 years ago, my wife passed away. Very, very unexpected, very sudden. She had liver cancer. Healthiest woman I ever known, ever. I mean, she didn't drink too much. She didn't stay on the sun too much. But anyway, it was just her time to go home. But she died, and this office you all gave me, simply organized. And guys, I'm telling you that to say she saved my life may be a little bit over, exaggeration of that, but she came in to help me get rid of stuff that was Carolyn's that I needed to sort of like move on with, like her school books, this kind of stuff. What I love is she said, okay, can we 3 bags? This is keep bag, this is donate bag, and this is throwaway bag. 3 bags, right?
Yeah.
Exactly right, Chuck. And the good news is that when she left, the giveaway was not left for me to take someplace. She took it and she said, by the way, I gave your wife's books for music to, I don't know, some elementary school someplace, and they love them. So guys, I'm simply organized. In fact, I was telling a friend of mine who's they moved to pare down from their big house, called Simply Organized because they have to get there. So guys, she will help you come in there, particularly if you have aging parents, who need to get rid of their junk. She'll help you come in there and get rid of it and organize it. And she's so in her staff, they're so sweet about understanding that they may want to keep that old tattered bookshelf that's up there. They want to keep it because it has sentimental value to it. So Heather, it's good to see you back. Let's just give her a hand. About 2021.
Oh gosh, whew. It's been a year, everybody. I spent most of 2021 in the hospital in the ICU with pancreatitis from gallstones. Yay! Also, I was extremely healthy. I thought no idea that was going to happen. So Halloween, my husband rushed me to the hospital, and I got out in January, and a week later, my dad died. So it was a great 2021 and into 2022. So, but I am 99% back, and it is still me. All of you online, it's the hair. That's why you don't recognize me. It's the hair, but I am Heather Rogers with Simply Organized, and I realized yesterday when I sent y'all a post on your Facebook page, this is my 10th year as a vendor for this office.
Let's give her a hand, you all.
Thank you. I want to give you Thank you so much. The reason I keep coming back is because of your business and your referrals, your wonderful clients that you've been giving us the past year. So we have 16 people. Oh, was that me? Okay. I was like, I'm hearing voices in my head. So we have a team of 16 professional organizers now at Simply Organized so that we can help you no matter where your clients are in the Metro Atlanta area. And what we love to do for y'all is premier white glove packing and unpacking services for all of your clients who are moving. The best thing you can do is refer us to them, give us their name and number, give them our name and number. In that process, the sooner you can get talk to us, talk to them about us in the listing appointment. That's the best time. Even if they're not moving for 6 months or a year, it's better to get us in the earlier the better. But we can help them A to Z from everything from pre-staging. We now have an interior designer on our team, so we're doing staging using the client stuff. So if you need a stager, you can call on us for that. We declutter, we donate, we pack, we unpack, we organize the house on the unpack. So within a day after their move, they could be completely settled in their new home. All right, some agents use us as consultation. Okay, walk through the house, be the middleman, deliver the uncomfortable news to your clients. We're happy to take that on for you. We don't want you to be the bad guy. So yeah, please call us. I'm gonna put new flyers in the vendor area downstairs. And just let me know what you need. And
So,
things like
so if
that.
I were an agent, I'm trying to think, what can I give my clients for the closing gift? And they want to give them you as a closing gift or your company. Give them some idea of how much that would cost
Uh-huh.
and just what they need to probably donate X dollars to it.
Yes, okay, so our rates have gone up in the 10 years. So sorry, everybody. We are now, and I hate quoting an hourly rate. My business guy told me not to do that, but for y'all, we're $75 an hour. We have a minimum of 3 hours. Teresa Gales, Libby, Patty, all of them offer us as a gift on their listing appointments. And they give us, whether that looks like a consultation or a pre-stage, whatever you need us to do. Dennis O'Reilly sends me out a lot of estate cleanouts. So we do a lot of project management and can clean out an entire state. So lots of different services that we offer. So yeah,
So guys, for $225,
$225.
$225, guys. You have
That's the
someone-
minimum though.
And if you, and I know, but if you have ever moved before and you think, oh my God, I'm with all this stuff, they will make you look like you just.
Well, and your clients really remember that as a gift, more than a gift certificate or a bottle of wine or something like that. When you give them something that's gonna help them with their stress and overwhelm, it's really memorable. Yes.
Just kind of, just to clarify, what it comes to 225, what would be?
So again, depends on what the client
Yeah.
needs.
Okay.
So, and what the agents want us to use that time for. Most agents want us to either do a consultation in that time and tell them what to do to get the house ready to list. Some of them want us to actually go in and do the pre-staging, which would be packing up the personal items, clearing off countertops, closets, pantries, things like that. But every client is unique and different. So 3 hours goes a long way in some houses and barely touches the surface in others. So we're as efficient as possible. But yeah, we're happy to work with that client directly. And of course, with the agents to find out what you guys want us to use that time for.
Any other questions? And being it's tax season, if you use it for that purpose, guess what? That is probably tax deductible. So
Yes,
it's great
it is a business. It is a business write-off for sure.
Which was great.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Heather. Thank you for
I
breakfast.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having you all. Y4C2 cheese, guys. This is what we stand for. And I was telling someone this past week, and what about the win-win or no deal? You all, I want y'all to really focus this year on what can I do to make this a win-win, whether it's in contact with another agent or whether it's with your family or whether it's with a client. What can I do to make this a win-win? You may have to back up on something you think, I was non-negotiable on that. You may back up and think, what can I do to make this win-win? So guys, I want to start off this year thinking about what could make this a win-win. Now, does everybody want to make it a win-win? The answer is,
Yes.
Yeah.
the
No.
answer is
Yeah.
no. Everyone does not think that way. But if you think that way and you're positive enough, sometimes you can change them and get them to where you need them to be by just thinking win-win or no deal. Because if you don't win-win, a lot of times there'll not be a deal. Real estate conversations and leads. Yeah, guys, this is such a great way to start your year. On Monday and Wednesdays at 8:30, led by Arthur and Johnson, they do scripts. They practice role play, guys. It is a wonderful place for you to be on Mondays and Wednesdays at 8:30, guys. You will learn stuff there. And I know we all think, oh, it's just scripts. Well, guys, if you know the answer to the question before they ask the question, that gives you power. Under contract now what? That is going to be on January 19th at 11 to 12. And it's going to be taught by Arthur and Johnson. Arthur, you want to tell them about this? Arthur, you can't tell them, can you? She's out the room. Here, guys, under contract. Well, so what happens next, guys? In other words, once it's under contract, what's the next thing you do? So that's going to be group coaching again on the 19th. Lunch and learn, let's talk about diversity and inclusion, where our unconscious biases are, guys. Now, that's the ones that I want you to be thinking about starting this year. What are my unconscious biases? Like I do that, I don't really think about it. It just comes out of my mouth, okay? Is anybody on? Did you want to talk about it? Please, yes, please. Come ahead.
Hello, I am Angela Presley, co-chair of Diversity and Inclusion, and we are having our workshop this Thursday. The purpose of this is just, as you mentioned, there's certain things that we say or think or do that we don't do intentionally. It's just our unconscious bias that we may not be aware of. And it affects how we handle, how we work with other agents and with our buyers. It's not just about race, it's about religion, it's about weight, it's about height, it's about everything. So we want to go ahead and explore those options and talk through them so that everybody can walk through and feel confident and comfortable talking to everyone and making sure that we actually get business and close deals with everyone. With our D&I, I just want to throw in, we sent out a survey to all of the agents. We will be doing an international flags across the training room. So everyone that responded with what their ethnic background is, we will have a flag representing the diversity in our office, and it will be showcased in here. So if you have not participated, let us know if you want to be included in this wall, and we'll go ahead and showcase how diverse our office is. Thank you.
Well, this is something to where if you want to expand your mind in 2022, this is a great one to start with. Come and listen to, well, oh my God, I never thought that was offensive. Interesting. So guys, if you want to expand your mind, this is one of the ways you can do it and think, okay, I've never thought about it before, because if I'd known that that was being offensive, I probably would not have said that. So guys, please put that on your calendar. If you're in my 20%, you all, please come to this because you will really learn. And I want great group discussion, because the only way that we can get through our unconscious biases is to do what? Just talk about them, discuss them, have an open forum. And this is a no dumb question forum. So please come and be a part of this, guys. I'd love to have this room packed for this event. Master Your Minutes, taught by Brindley Tucker, January 24th. I don't know anything about this. Anybody else know anything about this? Anyway, Brindley Tucker is going to come teach it on January the 24th, 11-12 a.m. on how to use the most of your lead gen time. So that sounds fabulous, guys. We need to use our lead gen time, because I was thinking yesterday, I was at homework and did not come in. I was thinking, I wonder how many agents are actually working today and doing lead generation activities rather than maybe being out and playing in the snow that didn't happen in Atlanta, Georgia. So guys, using your master your minutes and using your lead gen time, because guys, as I was telling someone yesterday, many years ago, if you were the head of the household, you had to go out and do what? You had to go out and kill something in order to have food for your family, didn't you? That was a long time, even before my time. Before my time. But you had to do that. And if you didn't go out and kill something, guess what? The family did not do what? Eat. So guys, it's the same thing here. If your goal every day is not to get up and think, I will not stop until I get a piece of business, then you have not really done your main activity that day, guys. So you got that every single day, you got to think, where can I find a piece of business? So guys, please join this. Bring on who you are. I cannot wait to hear more about this. Group coaching. Do you know who that is?
I do.
Please. Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I had an emergency call, that's why I had to step up. So Brindley Tucker trains assistants. She also has a placement service where she finds assistants for anybody who wants an assistant across the nation. I've heard her speak on Mastering Your Minutes, and you're gonna learn a lot from her. So please be here on Monday for group coaching. It will be on Zoom also, because I think she lives in Orlando.
For you all, we certainly want to thank R3 and her group for bringing us such good people, guys. We have such great good training and coaching. You guys, group coaching, amendments and exhibits, talk about R3.
That's me, yep. Yep, I get all these questions about amendments and exhibits and when to use them, which ones to use. So please join me next week on my birthday on the 26th. And it will be extremely riveting.
She stole your word.
Oh, that's my word.
Hi, guys. All right, everybody, January 27th, 9 a.m. House Call Home Inspection will be teaching a 3-hour continuation class and we'll be teaching our termite and pest control. Guys, this is something that if you know just a little bit about it, you can tell your clients about it. This gives you a chance to learn. Here's what the real truth is about this. Do you need a termite ladder? Should you have it inspected every single year? Please come do this in house call. We'll be doing this again the 27th at 9 a.m. Power Day, loving on listings. Now, guys, we are focusing on listings this year because what do we need?
Listings.
More listings, or as my friend calls them, more listings. This is exactly what it is. Guys, please come do this. I know you think, oh, what am I gonna do? Well, she will tell you. Remind you, the people that came in on January the 2nd, not to,
Fourth, I think, well, it was the first working
First
day.
working day,
Knocked
guys.
it out the
they
park.
knocked it out of the park, and some of them did very, very well. Rusty, how many appointments did you set on that day?
I think it was 7.
7 on that day, guys. And how'd you do that, Rusty?
Grind,
Wine.
grind,
So she
grind.
drank
Paul.
wine?
Yeah, no, purposeful.
Purposeful, yeah. So guys, please come in and do that, guys. It's a great thing. If you put it on your calendar, just come do that, guys. It will bless you because you'll get business from there that day. Ignite, guys, we have Ignite going on when? Michelle?
Ignite
Monday.
starts Monday. And so we've got, I'll say 11, because I'm not going to include myself, 12 or 11 fantastic agents that are going to tell you how they're doing business and teach our new agents, as well as I invite you, if you're an agent that wants to restart your business, kind of refocus, join us. If you are a refocus rather than a post licensing, you get 33 hours of CE credit. What an amazing thing. So for those that haven't signed up, we've got a short window and would love to see them.
When you all look at this, this faculty up here, guys, they all have done well. They've all done well in this office. They're in my 20%. So guys, please come. If you've been in the business for a long time and you want to know about build your business or ignite your business or win the buyer, guys, these guys do it and do it well. Now I could teach some of this, and you would think, well, Jim, you haven't sold in 27 years. So guys, these guys are selling now and doing a great job. So please do this. It's a great way for you to get to ignite your business for 2022. Keller Williams School of Real Estate. Guys, this is something that I struggle with bringing this here. The reason I struggle with it, I thought, well, if someone doesn't have $200 or $300 to invest in their business, why would I want to get them a free place? But I was convinced that this was a great tool for us to have. And Michelle is the dean of the school. So Michelle, tell them a little about it.
You know what I'm going to tell you is tomorrow from 12 to 12:30, we're going to do a quick infomercial, if you want to call it, explaining it and how you can use it in order to include friends, family, obviously support your downline and grow this office. So there'll be 30 minutes tomorrow from 12 to 12:30, and then the link will be sent out. But it's a fabulous way to make a difference in someone's life.
Are we
Yes.
sending the link to people who are interested in real estate? Or is this
No,
something for us?
no, we're not going to blanket give out the information. And when I say that, there's codes that have to be used. Either they need to talk with me one-on-one or attend virtual career day, because there's more than just the cost of real estate school. And so we want them to understand what they're getting ready to embark on. That way they're informed. So I like to spend that time with them so that they're excited about it. And I'm able to watch the progress of how people are doing. So if you send me someone, if you want to just know how they're doing, let me know. I'll tell you, yes, they've started and where they're at. Any
Guys,
questions?
as you grow wealth, guys, one of the ways is to have multiple streams of what? Income. And that's why you grow wealth, guys. That's what you do. That's one of the ways to grow wealth. And guys, if they live in South Cherokee County someplace or North Cherokee County, and then into this office, they can still do this school.
They
But
can.
Michelle wants to make sure that they're interested and they're actually going to do this. So guys, just realize that it is it's free. There's no cost to it. They don't even have to join this office. Of course, the end result is want them to be in your downline.
Correct. And the other thing is if they're out of state, I can't help them because it's just for Georgia only.
But maybe we'll put them in touch with somebody.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you, Jim. You can contact a school, a team leader or an assistant team leader somewhere
We'll do
else.
something. All right, you're up.
I am up, yay, my favorite time of the month, listings and closings. First listing. Oh. That's all you get this morning. So Catherine is a full-time school teacher. And so she has her first listings, first closings. So. And then Stephanie Tutbo is on who? Overback team. So congratulations. This will be here at the office for you. There is
Way to go,
one more.
Stephanie.
Oh, okay. First closings. Rikita
Yay.
Brown.
Yay.
I noticed Rikita was on top of the leaderboard last month. And she had a great month. She had 4 closings, brand new agent. So Rikita, we are so proud of you. I know you're at home. You get to be at home with the babies because they have COVID and you have a lot of stuff going on. We love you. We're here for you. All right. And
Is
this is your payment.
Rakita on the line? Are you there with Rakita?
She might not be. Is she?
Let's see, we
Yeah.
got, guys, this is a new agent that's coming in this market, has already closed 4 deals.
Yeah.
So the ones of y'all that are struggling, just keep going because the deals are out there.
And keep
Way to go,
coming
Regina, I'm proud of you.
in, keep coming in. She came in every single day.
Mhm.
She hasn't been in a little bit, because like I said, she's got little babies and COVID's going through her home, but she just kept coming in and she kept doing it afraid, you guys. So you show up and the results will show up. I promise you they will.
Yeah, I was talking to one of our newer associates, and I asked him, I said, so what's made the difference? And this particular person says, I show up every day. I see agents that are new come in, and in a few weeks they're gone. And guys, when you're sitting at home and God bless you, you can sit at home and lead generate, you're doing something I cannot do. I got to come to the office to where I can be active, guys. But this particular person said, I come to the office every single day. I showed up and I did it, guys. And guys, if you can lead generate at home and do that without having to think about it, God bless you. But for the rest of us, please come to the office, guys. It makes a big difference. And you may even pick up a piece of business if you come to the office. So that's what's good. All right, December cappers. What does it mean if you cap, Michelle?
That means you get to keep all your commission going forward till you.
Need to keep 100% of the guys,
Yeah.
which that's amazing. So I love this part of my job. It makes me smile. So December cappers are Shamra Butler. Way to go, Shamra. Congratulations.
Yes.
First time capper. I'm proud of you, girl. Rusty. You finally got a hat to put on your head.
I have a picture, so wait.
Picture right here. Good.
Right, yeah.
Can you tell my son a little bit more?
Suck it all in, guys.
Can you tell which one's Marine, which one's not? Yeah. God, I worked hard to put all this extra weight during the holidays. I worked really hard for that. My Alexander family helped me do that. Way to go, Rusty. I'm proud of you. Hey, look who's here, Peter! Yay! Peter and Connie are responsible for some of this weight. They brought me these little cheese buttons during the holidays, and I share them with nobody. So congratulations, Peter.
Thank you.
Good. Let's get a picture here too. Look at
All
Peter.
right.
Peter and Connie team, I love it. And Peggy does a dairy. Let me tell you about Peggy, okay? She is one of the investors in this office. Been here since it opened. She's been the team leader briefly. She's been the OP briefly, and she's an amazing lady. Just keeps doing her business and doesn't stop. Peggy, I love being in business with you. Let's give Peggy a hand. Right. Rachel Ellinger, way to go, Rachel! Of John Ellinger, so she comes with good lines. Is a way to go, Rachel. Is this her first time?
No, second time.
Second time, she's been here for about a year.
My 1 year.
Way to go, Rachel. I'm proud of you, girl. Kelly Cleansing, way to go, Kelly. One more time. Megan, way to go, Megan. Come on. Megan, second time. First, let's give her a hand. Come on, way to go, Megan. I'm proud of you, girl. Tell us how you did it. What did you focus on to where you did this much business your first year?
Lead generation.
Yeah, lead generation.
I'm on Courtney News team.
Courtney News team. Have we heard of Courtney News before? Let's get a picture. Let's get a picture right here.
Yeah, I'll send this to you.
What happens when the Courtney News team if you don't show up?
You show up.
It's like, whatever, you show up.
That's hilarious.
Or you hear somebody calling and say, darling, that's not gonna work. Exactly right. And Janie Long, way to go, Janie. Mercy, way to go. Way to go, way to Mercy. Sharia Mitchell, way to go, Sharia. Stephanie, way to go, Stephanie. Let's do one more hand, you all, way to go. And she's dual career.
Dual career, yeah.
Way to go. And Angela Presley.
Oh, they're waiting for you. That's why I keep my day job.
I'm glad.
Yeah, hold on. There it goes. Smile down. You're on camera.
And she looks like I'm not.
I get it.
Okay. Is that it?
That's it.
Cool. And Stephanie, way to go, Stephanie. Congratulations. I love seeing all these new cappers. It just makes me smile, guys. Congratulations. All right, Michelle, lessons learned.
All right. I'll make it quick, but we've got two parts to this. Only because of what was going on in the office last week. I see business picking up. Yay, that's great. And when business picks up, questions come about. I'm going to tell you, I got several calls this weekend on how to structure escalation clauses, how to structure appraisal gaps. There are special steps that if you will reach out to me, or we'll just send them out, that you do not need to wait for anybody to call you back, because you'll have them. I got special steps by attending a Seth Weissman class. So guess who it's been written by? An attorney. Isn't an attorney better than us trying to make up our own clauses? So there, if you just choose to wing it, and here it's a Friday night and you know that you're going to need something, you can also go to Remind. You can go into FMLS and there's special steps in there, but there is no reason for any agent that's well prepared not to have the special steps, because we know we're using them, right? So rather than recreate the wheel every time, we'll get them out. How about that, Kimberly? I'll give you that and we'll send them out to everybody. And then if you call me on 10 o'clock on Friday night, then you can put KW Cares $25. Would that be okay? No, we will help you. We will help you, but you don't, it's all done for you. That way it looks like seamless. The other thing that I was going to tell you is that how many of you are working with out-of-town buyers? TV land, anybody? Okay. Guess what? Out-of-town buyers usually have out-of-town bank accounts, right? And you can have in-town buyers that have out-of-town bank accounts because they moved here. When I was in mortgage banking, I always asked them, are you prepared to move the money? Because if I saw the Bank of Ohio had the $30,000 that they needed, I'd say, you know, you need to start to initiate that. That has caught two agents, or not the agents, but their clients in a dilemma, because one found out a few days before their closing that they couldn't just wire money. They couldn't just contact the institution and say, I need money wired. They had to physically be present. So they thought, well, I'll solve that. I'll write a check to my son and daughter-in-law and let them have the money here. What happens then, guys?
I can tell you what happens, Michelle.
There's a hole. Oh, you're not the only one.
I know. 10-day hold. We're paying $3,500 for a bridge loan. It's
Yeah. And so if you'll have those conversations, if you'll just think about that, we have a lot of people that are coming in to Atlanta from other places, have that conversation. And if it doesn't apply, it doesn't apply. But usually you've got plenty of time to get that ready. The other snafu that I've seen is people that are using their 401k or liquidating, certain stocks, bonds, whatever. That doesn't happen overnight. And so a 401k hung up at closing because they asked for it about 5 days prior to closing. Doesn't work that way. And then it's got to come in the money. So although you're not the lender, if you're not using Supreme or Silverton, I think I'd ask that question. I mean, because you're going to ask it, right? Yeah. Anyway, just to save you that, any questions on that? Okay, great. Then I complete.
No, so I want to do a lesson learned with you before we bring the meeting credit. Okay, so if you market to neighborhood, you want to this month send a card to everybody. They could say, here are the homes that were sold in 2021. All the prices with the address. Can you do that? Answer is, can you do that? Even though you're not involved in those sales, can you do that?
Yes.
The answer is yes. But you can't do that. Can you also post pictures of the house itself? Make it look like she had had some of those. I don't have to call buyers and say, by the way, your house is being shown on here. Just so we're clear on that, can you send out things that would say these are falling sales? Yes, you can. Now, could you alienate some people in the neighborhood if you tell them how much the house sold for? Yes, you could. You have to have the permission. No, you do not, because it's a what? Public record. But you cannot send out a picture of a house of a new buyer without that new buyer's what? Even if you were the listing agent, you cannot send that picture out because that picture no longer belongs to you. But they're my pictures, Jim, I know, but the house I want somebody else. So guys, just so you're clear on that, because I want you to do marketing, I want you to work neighborhoods, I want you to farm neighborhoods, but you cannot do that one activity.
That is a real story, happened to me. 2020, and Michelle did spend a lot of time on with me on that, so it is a real story. I really thought the pictures belonged to me, and I could.
Yeah, but you learned that it.
The buyer's sister was a lawyer. Nothing happened. It's fine. It's all good, but it was scary for a couple of weeks.
Guys, Craig, come on up here and have a seat. I'm with the hats. So guys, one of the parts of the business that is going to become more prolific is the thing of seniors moving out of their house. Again, a lot of times that poses a lot of problems and problems that you might have gone through. I spent the whole day yesterday going through all my accounts to put down on paper, here's where the accounts are, here are the passwords for the accounts, because if you are a single guy like me and you have a stroke, no one would know where that stuff is. So guys, I spent the day yesterday working on that, and it's pretty well organized right now. I'm getting ready to give it to my family so they know where it is. Now, someone recommended that I put it in an envelope and have it mailed in case something happens, but I wanted to know where it is, so when something does happen, they can take care of it. So Anita, tell a little bit about your business, how you've been doing this business.
Well, we've been in business since 2003. We started as an estate sale company initially because we realized there were a lot of seniors who needed help distributing and selling their things. Within a year, we added the real estate and the move management because we saw those were the three things that our clients needed to have happen before they could move from point A to point B. So we've been doing this for almost 20 years. It's coming up on 20 years. And just through.
I know that's shocking.
We're so young. But it's been a very rewarding career. And it's just, we've learned a lot just by dealing with seniors where they live. So.
It's when she had started it, it was like she said, it was an estate sale company, but as just shortly into the business, she'd have her clients say, it's been great. can you also help us move? Can you also sell our house? And by just continually saying yes to all these things, and navigating through, the learning curves. Yeah,
I can't hear you on
I thought that would be the case, because I'm not too quiet of a voice, sorry. She
That
always-
solves a fight for us.
She always says, I say, you're hard of hearing, but she said. I'll try to speak up. So sorry about that. But anyway, so through all of this time, she has had these growth spurts here and there, and you always wonder, when do you hire more people and that sort of thing? And every once in a while, she'd bring me on to help fill the gap until she added more people. And I just loved it. I loved working with these seniors, old people. I can say old people because I am one, and so I don't have to feel sensitive about that. But back in 2016, I think, we quit doing the estate sales. Thank goodness. But we know enough about them that we can advise people through that process and include them within the timeline of the overall project to get them relocated. We've been longtime members of the National Association of Senior Move Managers. We were the first Georgia senior move manager to get the A+ accreditation, and there's still only 4, but it is the highest accreditation that you can get in the senior move management world. And there is a lot of overlap with what we do with what Heather does, but our key term, if you want to think about what we do, is turnkey relocation. So it obviously includes having to get the people downsized, organizing, that sort of thing. But we can get the people packed and moved in one day. So by dinner time on move day, they are all set up, pictures hung, beds made, everything taken care of.
So that's kind of our background. And so I know Jim wanted us to talk about why seniors want to move. What are some of the reasons they don't want to move? And that's kind of what we're going to cover today, are those kinds of things. When we're working with seniors, and you may want to take that first part about their homes and all that.
And Jim had asked us in to talk so that we could kind of relate what we do to what you all do in terms of representing seniors in the sale of their house and the possible purchasing other property. Let me just a few of the things that you're going to run into that's different with seniors than it is with just your regular buyers is that, I guess from an overall standpoint, the way that we look at it is that there's going to be dread. They've lived in their place for so long. They might not be with the same level of capabilities that they had been for most of their lives, and they're just really nervous about it. And some of them are so nervous about it that they don't move, and they stay in their, and a lot of people want to stay in their houses for a long time. Frankly, we probably will. But we look at it that when we can see that they would like to be someplace else, it is such a motivating factor to help them understand. We understand there is a better life on this other side of what you are dreading, that the more we can help them with that, that's the kind of the one fuzzy thing that we get out of this whole process, is that things that we do, are going to help them. And so a lot of the time when we go in to talk with these people, most of the time, they already have an agent. You guys are going to get there before we do. And to sell your services is helping them sell their homes. Something that you're going to run into, a couple of things, just the general attitudes, like I said, number one, they've got their heels dug in. They really don't want to do this, but they really know, they recognize there's that better life on the other side of it. And there's also typically going to be a lack of trust. These older folks have learned, that there's some folks in the world that might take advantage of them and that sort of thing. And I just know that when Anita goes in on her initial consults, that she gets a lot of side eye. Another one of the things is that they might have family members there with them to help take care of them and to help watch out for this whole process. And so she gets the side eye. There's always this thing, but we're married, so I hate to say anything nice about her. But she has such a nice calming influence on the whole process that by the time that initial consult is done, they are ready to get over that dread. They can start to see, especially if she's done a floor plan for them, that there are concrete steps now. This is starting to look real to them. And that's just part of the thing that we bring to the table is a calming influence and a trusted point of contact for this overall process of relocation.
So when y'all go in, Anita or Craig, the one, and you can tell, I'm not moving.
Yeah.
And they cross their arms like this, like you got your cross. You're like, right. So what is it you do to help them understand? Well, maybe that's for you. So tell me some of this, what you all look for, what you all do.
One of the things I usually hear is family members are telling them what they can't do anymore. This house is too much for you. You're having trouble with stairs. They try to convince them using all these things that they can't do in negative stimulation to move forward. What I think works better when there are so many senior communities, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but if you can try to encourage them with the positives, you're going to be in a community with lots of activities. You're not going to have to drive to everything. You're going to make friends and be around your peers. Do you see the difference in that messaging? And so that's what I would say is encourage them to look forward to what they are going to be experiencing. You're not going to cook anymore. You're not going to clean anymore. Those kinds of things. They're positive things that they can go, hey, that doesn't sound half bad, but I think families tend to hit it from the other side. Mom, I'm worried about you. You're going to fall down those stairs. The shower isn't good for you anymore. Those are the kinds of things that I think your messaging can be one, let's look, like Craig said, a better life is ahead. Some people aren't going to move because they don't have to move, but when you start seeing people with memory deficits, physical challenges, it's time to start encouraging them because yes, they can get home care, but home care is only what I call a Band-Aid for a short term, because what's going to happen is that's going to become cost prohibitive when they start needing somebody 24 hours a day. And it's always better to move when it's a choice than when it's a circumstance. So as agents, I think if you can encourage them to just look at things from that perspective, I think it'll be really, really helpful. A lot of times our clients move because they want to be near kids. They want to be near hospitals and their doctors. They want to be on one level living. Those are the kinds of things you can encourage them with rather than telling, because they always feel a sense of loss and you don't want to encourage that sense of loss. I'm leaving my house that I've been in for 30 years, that sort of thing.
And so how do y'all help them know, or do you, here's where you should be going, this is what fits your needs?
Okay, well, on this piece of paper, and I think Kimberly might have it up here, we got this from Arborterra, so it wasn't something that we created.
From where?
Arborterra, it's a community, there are several communities throughout Atlanta, but it is a wonderful piece of paper that shows all your different senior living options. You're going to be surprised, but we don't help them find those things. And I'm going to tell you why. We don't know the chefs. We don't know the turnover of staff. We don't know the kinds of things. We don't know the costs. We don't know a lot of the things that they're going to need to know before they make a selection. So what you would want to do is partner with a placement person. And what does that mean? Senior placement. There are plenty of companies outside of a Place for Mom. A Place for Mom has their niche, but if I were suggesting something, I would find a local placement company who knows all those things, costs. They can find something within their budget so they're not showing them things that don't fit their needs. If they need a lot of health care, certain places aren't going to offer that. It's like, what's the difference between personal care home and assisted living and independent living and all those things? Unless you want to become an expert on that, I would say make a relationship with a placement company, and let that be a value-added service that you give to your clients. And it also helps take the responsibility off of you, because let's say you find them a place and it doesn't meet their needs, and they paid for the move, and they're gonna have to move again. You don't want to bear that responsibility, and you would, because they would say, well, my agent said, find a placement company and partner with that person.
And you just Google senior living placement, is that what you're doing?
Yes, and if you email us, if you work with seniors, and we can give you ones that we use, but I would develop relationships with a couple different ones, because you're gonna find that certain ones work certain areas, certain ones work other areas, and you might need a couple different companies in order to refer to.
They're like buyers reps for senior communities. Now, there's another situation I know that a lot of the time, the marketing people for senior communities will have special offers for realtors who bring them their people. And if you happen to know that, yeah, okay, my clients and I'm selling the house for has told me they definitely want to be at Sterling Estates, East Cobb, then you can go in there and, you know, introduce them and you'll get some kind of a fee. Well, yeah, possibly, okay, 1,000 to a couple thousand maybe sometimes. Whereas with placement people are free for the client, but they also charge more to the marketing community. So it's kind of, you just got to make a decision on a case-by-case basis as to which way is the right way to go for it.
We don't do placements, and we've been in this
And
business
why,
for a long time.
tell me why not? You said it
Because
one more time.
again, we don't know their financial, like, we don't know what kinds of money they have coming in from Social Security. We don't know what the physical requirements are. We don't know what their personal circumstances are and what their needs are. So a placement, and then plus a placement person knows that community. Is that executive director gone every 3 months? You don't want to be in a place like that. Do they have people that just don't stay in terms of staff? That wouldn't be one that you would
And
want.
there are a lot of things with as much of this as we do. There's probably 250 different senior communities that we keep in touch with over time. We get, and with the moves that we do, we get to know the people. So we have our own ideas and opinions, but whether or not that should qualify us to be professional representatives of these people's needs, we get to know our people very well and their needs as relates to relocating and how they want their place to look and that sort of thing. But it would be out of our lane and out of our focus if we thought about it a little bit, but in doing the thoughts, we said, no, leave that to the professionals.
But you'll see up on the chart, independent living is all the way over to this side. That is where most of your clients will start off going. Doesn't mean that's where they should go, but that's how families get them to approach senior living because it's the least intrusive. Then you have the assisted living and personal care homes. They give the most array of services, but they are very expensive. When you're looking at independent living, just so you guys kind of know, it starts about $3,500 a month. But you get housekeeping and meals. Once you get into assisted living and personal care, you're going to add services to that. And so that $3,500 may go up to $5,000, $6,000 a month, but they're getting more services. And then all the way over on this side, you have CCRCs. In Atlanta, we don't have a lot of them. A CCRC is like, you can go in an independent living and stay all the way to skilled nursing. St. George Village is one, Park Springs is one, Lanier Village Estates, Presbyterian Village. There aren't a lot of those, but they're usually buy-ins. And just so you know that, there's no real estate involved. They don't own anything, but they buy in and they can spend $300,000, $600,000, and they'll get a percentage of that back. But if they're concerned, and you may have clients, I don't want to have to keep moving outside of a community. I want to make sure I've got skilled nursing all the way through my life. CCRC is the way to go. So this paper, if you just kind of tuck it in, if you work with seniors, it's going to give you an idea, okay, this might be the right kind of living environment. If you notice memory deficits, memory care might be.
It's into the POA thing. too.
Yeah, and Jim asked us about POA, is that a good idea? I'm gonna say, if you have any question when you're working with your clients on the sale of a house about memory deficits, try to ask the client in a sweet way, that paperwork is so extensive. Do you have a family member that you could give a POA to for this real estate transaction? So that it takes off the, worry of signing all this paperwork. They'll run everything by you. But you see, what I'm trying to do is get somebody else involved in that decision, because what you don't want is having somebody come back to you and go, well, why did you let them sign that? They weren't able to sign that. So POAs, I think, are great. Even if they have them, I'm going to tell you, most attorneys at the close, before closing, will want a specific power of attorney. It costs like $75, but like Thomas Brown and all the other ones that we closed with, they're going to want their own specific power of attorney for that real estate transaction. But the benefit to you for having a general POA is that you can get them to sign all the other stuff leading up to that closing.
And so my mother-in-law, we noticed that about 80, that when we went to her house, that she was losing stuff. This is a lady that I was toward her college class, and so bright lady, she started losing stuff. That's unusual. And so Carolyn got her pretty much that day to sign something that gave Carolyn the right to do a lot of things for, including sign her into a nursing facility. So can you, and then this is maybe above your pay grade, can you tell us sort of, if we want to make sure that the time comes where we get to say, Mom, you're going to this facility, what does that POA look like?
It may not be a POA that you need. You might have to become, and I forget the exact word, but you may have to be like an administrator. And that gets into a whole lot more legal issues than POA. POA gives you the right, and then if it's a specific POA or it's healthcare, it depends what kind of POAs you have. I really would say this: attorneys. Talk to them, get information from them, because you can have a POA for certain things and not for other things. So you can't assume that they can assign things for you. So that's why I would say, yes, POAs are great, but you need to know what kind of POA that is. And an attorney would be the one that would help you with that. Signing somebody into a senior community would not be an easy task.
Because when Jamal comes in, because my mother-in-law, we figured out that she had Alzheimer's. Without Carolyn having a POA, we could have not gotten in, because she could have said, no, I'm not going there.
That's right.
And she almost burned her house down one time by putting a can of Spam unopened into a cooktop and let it sit there and cook. So guys, that's an important question to ask. Jay, I'm sorry, you had a comment?
Well, I did, kind of on the heels of you saying attorney. For a short while, I got into insurance, and one of the big things to keep in mind when you are dealing with elderly people is when they are going to go into one of these facilities. And you mentioned a place for mom briefly. I say no to a place for mom. They basically, some entities, with all of the assets that your elderly parents or grandparents could have, they can completely take all of the assets before they start using their Social Security money and completely leave your relative dry. So a lot of things with using an attorney is the attorney will say, get the assets out of their name and then move forward with putting them into a facility. That way they can have their assets being looked over by somebody who's competent versus it just draining them.
And what was your first name?
Janie.
And what Janie was saying about a place for mom, I'm sure a place for mom is great. And they do a lot of good things for a lot of good people. But the way where we have gotten and spending as much time as we have in the senior services industry is that you do hear that what happens with a place for mom is these folks can get online, start clonking around on the internet, and they find a place for mom. And within just a few clicks, from that point on, any place that they find and set an appointment by themselves through the place for mom site, they're contractually obligated to be paid. And so, and place for mom, it's a big national company. They don't have the resources to drive people around, establish a comfortable, trusting relationship with the people as they take them around and introduce them. And so all of a sudden, those people are shut out. People, the local placement people that we've talked about, are shut out once they get on that Place for Mom site, start clicking around and get themselves
And
contractually obligated.
what they do is just send a list of, to the communities. They send your client's name to all these communities. If your client ends up going there, they'll get like a $3,000 fee. Yes, your client didn't have to pay anything, but a Place for Mom really didn't do anything except send that name out. That's why you want a local placement company, because they actually know the communities. That's why I would encourage you, if they're going to senior living, use a placement company. It's just not worth the $1,000 you might get as a real estate agent to take somebody someplace, because you just don't want that liability in my thoughts.
Well, so, and I hate to use numbers, but top 3 things, mistakes that you think people working with seniors make. I mean, any thoughts on it at all? Anything you would advise them of?
I would say don't try to hurry them. Give them a positive reason to move, not a negative reason. That they shouldn't stay in their house, and try to include family members at just one. If you have 5, you're creating just one, and ask your client who that one person should be. Because all the kids will want to be involved. They will all have different opinions, and really then you just spin your wheels.
That's the thing that we'll see a lot of the time is with working with seniors. The good news is that they have family to help. The bad news is they have family to help. And so one way or the other, and we've worked with both sides, of course. Some of them are just great. We've had just great supportive family and objectively want to do the right thing, that sort of thing. But other ones can get complicated when they have their own dynamics within the
family. One thing I want to say about independent senior living, though, there is a wide variety of what that means. If you ever get a chance to drive by a place called a Holbrook, that's high-end senior living. People in the late 70s, early 80s think of senior living as nursing homes. That's one of the things that you kind of have to show them. It's not that anymore. I mean, these places have bistros, they have all kinds of high-end living. That would be on the higher end side. There's also things on the other side. Of course, budget is part of it, but you work with a lot of maybe East Cobb folks or other people with means. They're gonna want that kind of senior living. So I would familiarize yourselves with what's out there, because that's like a country club. It's very different than what your clients are gonna think senior living is.
Can I mention one other thing, just to make it a top 4? If you just keep an overall mindset when you're working with these folks about that whole idea that they're gonna be dug in, they're gonna be afraid, they're not gonna trust you and that sort of thing. They see this big mountain of effort to get over until they get to that better life. Think about making that mountain into a molehill for them. And the more you can, I hate to use the word concierge because I think it's overused, but the more resources you can bring to their disposal to help them see that they will get over that, the better. And I've started, the way that I'll talk with these folks when I first meet them, even though personality-wise with us, we're all for under-promising and over-delivering. But when I see the consistent, great results that these people get and how happy they are at the end, I'll tell them right off the beginning, I know you're scared now, but on move day, you're going to be thrilled. And so to me, as part of our mission, bringing some calm to their lives when they're otherwise stressed, it's worth it. And I don't even consider myself going out on a limb, by saying that. You can see that, okay, if that's true, then they're okay between now and the next month or so that they end up moving. So it's like helping to reduce stress in old people. Kind of feels good when you do it for a living.
So things that I would develop if I were a placement company, elder care law attorneys, charities that pick up in the house, particularly furniture. That's the hump he's telling you. try to make that hump go away by you providing those resources. Things you already do, handymen, inspectors, all that, but these are senior specific things you're gonna wanna add to that. Estatesales.net is a good place to go find estate sale companies. When we used to do estate sales, that's where everybody advertises, not estatesales.com, there is that, but in Atlanta and this area, it's estatesales.net. You're gonna want to talk to some estate sale companies and have those in your back pocket. Because that again is something that getting rid of their stuff is a big deal. So the first step is estate sale, next step is charity, last step is trash haulers. And if you can just know that that's the order that you need to kind of think about for them. You know, elder care law attorneys, you don't think you'll need them, but you might. So, and they are very specific for things like, all right, does your client deserve veterans assistance? A lot of people are veterans and they know about it, but the spouses of those veterans are also due money. So, you know, and those are things that elder care law attorneys can help you with so that you know that they're getting all that they deserve and based on their histories. But I would develop that list of people just to have so that when you take a listing for a senior, let's say they're moving to a senior community, you've got the move date, the closing date, the move date organized, and then there's all the house left. And what are you gonna do? Well, you wanna give them resources.
And last but not least, long-term care insurance, you recommend it?
Yes, if you buy it early.
What is it?
You can answer it better. It's very expensive if you wait.
Yes, and so like you said, the earlier the better. If you
Yeah.
start with it when you're in your 50s, all the better. But if you're 65, 70 even, it doesn't. make
It's very
sense.
hard.
But what
It
is
gets
it?
very
It's
expensive.
called long-term care insurance. Carol and I got it when we were in our 50s. And all it means is that if you have to go to a long-term care facility, whatever it is, that they pay a certain amount of the cost. They don't pay it all the time, but they'll pay a portion of it.
It ain't cheap.
They're not inexpensive. Remember I said 35 to 6,000 a month, you know? You do have to jump through some hoops with it. It's not like you can just have long-term care and say, oh, I'm gonna use that next month. It doesn't work that way. You have to be assessed, you have a 30-day waiting period, you have a lot of things that you have to consider with it. But with the cost of this kind of thing, if you start early, it's worth it. But if you start late, it's exorbitant.
It's like life insurance. You start life insurance when you're 25, it's cheap. When you start, if you're 55 or 65, it's more expensive. And so that's like everything else. But I would tell you if you got aging parents, if you're in your 20s and they're in their 50s or 40s, I would say, Mom, let's go ahead and just get this so that you'll have it. Because my mother-in-law did not have it and she wasn't able to afford it. And I think she spent about $160,000 on staying where she did for 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, senior living isn't inexpensive, especially the higher the level of care you get. Like independent living is the lowest that you'll pay, but as you go up the scale of care, then you go to assisted and personal care, it's going to get more expensive because you're charged based on which services you need and the spaces shrink. And then memory care is even more than that. And then at the top of the list is skilled nursing. So
It is expensive. If you think that the federal government's going to pay for you to be there for a long time, that's not exactly true. Unless you have no assets, and sometimes it works that way. All right, guys. All right. So, question, just a minute.
Just a quick question. With long-term care, like life insurance, are there terms? Is it a 10-year, 20-year, or do you
keep
start now
paying-
and just pay
you
until?
just keep paying for it. I mean, you keep paying for it because you're paying for the opportunity for them to pay for your housing when you need it. And so you have to continue paying for it.
So if you start at 50,
You're gonna pay, but your premiums are gonna be lower.
Lower than 60.
Yeah, but if you wait till you're 65, like, it just gets cost prohibitive, you know, so you have to look at all of that.
Good news is if you start young and you build wealth,
Yeah.
you can write any of that.
Yeah.
You know, if you build enough wealth, exactly right, Chuck, which is the best insurance to have, which is absolutely great. Okay, other questions from anybody? Anybody online have a question on TV land?
And I will say, if y'all need any resources from us, just a simple email works, you know.
If y'all don't know what to do, they are the experts in the office. They know sort of know where to go. And so they're very happy to share with you and tell you what to do and what not to do. Guys, and even what if we have this type of resources, guys, believe it or not, there's gonna be a fair amount of us that are gonna have to move to extended care in the next 5, 10, 20 years from the meeting. So not everybody's gonna live to be 95 and drive their car when they're 94. So not everybody's like that.
By the way, Jen, I just want to make sure everybody knows that, we're also agents, obviously, we were kind of wage, but we stay in our lane. We do work with a good many agents, and they've come to know that we stay in our lane. Our clients, when we're helping an agent get their clients moved, as far as we're concerned, people will not even know that we are agents, so we can help you with these things without intruding.
And which part of that help y'all like the best?
Which part of the?
Of that help y'all like the best?
My favorite thing is we decorate and everything their apartments. So our favorite thing is the reveal, what we call the reveal, is because our clients are not there when we're doing the actual move-in. We have a staff that will, let's say they're moving into a 2-bedroom. We have a staff of 4 ladies or 3 ladies and Craig, and we will.
I don't think they decorate, they let me let the boxes and stuff, so that's kind of a manly thing, but not the design.
We get it then in there by dinner time. However, I have to staff to make that happen is how we staff. And so they walk in, we meet them at the front door, they open the door and they walk in. And that is the best part of this.
So because then they feel at home.
They do.
Their stuff's inside, but they feel at home.
I just did one. The lady did not want to go. She lived in a condo over in Roswell. This was last week. This week. She did not want to go. Her daughter was really pushing it because she had some health problems. We did the floor plan, still didn't want to go. She was one that when she walked in, she said, I want to live here now. And that's the best part, because it wasn't safe for her to stay in her place. She wasn't driving anymore, so she was totally isolated.
It's kind of like the difference we were talking about earlier, where a lot of the seniors' ideas of senior living is, nursing homes. It's so different than that now. It's the same thing with their impression of what it's going to be like when they move into this little box somewhere. It's totally different than that. When they walk into that little box, actually, and it's oddly enough, if they've seen the place before when it was empty, it actually looks bigger when it's all set up, the pictures are hung, all that sort of thing. And it's totally counterintuitive to what they were expecting.
Yeah, and that's the benefit of staging, for real estate is that you give their eyes something to judge scale by. When they walk into a senior living community, an apartment, they're going to go, oh, that's so small. But it's because it's an open box. There's nothing for your mind to take and use a scale. So, and it happens 9 times out of 10, they walk in and they say, it's so much bigger than I thought it was. So, and that's the key. If you can make them excited, that's the key. If you can convince them that what they're going to meets their current needs. It might not have 10 years ago, but for where they are now. And then it's an easier sell. It really, really, truly is. When you can make them excited about it.
Yes, ma'am.
Question, what if the senior is moving out of state? Do you have partnerships out of state?
We do. Since we belong to that organization that Craig talked about, what we do in those situations, we get the floor plan from wherever they're going. Let's say they're going to a senior community in North Carolina. We get the floor plan. We tend to go over there and help them with the floor plan. And at the same time, we're finding a senior move manager in where they're going. And then we send them that floor plan, and then they have a working piece of paper so that when that truck gets there, they do what we do. They set it all up so that it's move-in ready.
We've got a lady coming in from Florida.
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah, she canceled. Something happened with the community.
But anyways, yeah, we're planning on.
Great.
With the truck. and
We'll
that
help
sort
her
of thing.
eventually. But yeah, I have one on Thursday where I'm meeting the truck and we're setting it up and the mother is driving with her daughter. And so when she gets here that night, she'll just walk in and it's
If
ready.
40 years ago, somebody would have told you that, hey, in 2022, part of your making a living would be leading a truck. What would you?
You know, what is that saying? If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I mean, I love all the parts of what we do, from the move to the real estate. So it really is a very rewarding thing. It can be frustrating, I know sometimes, but in terms of working with seniors, but I think if we just kind of keep in mind the positive versus you can't do this anymore, those are dangerous. I mean, that's how most kids approach it. And if you can approach it in a different way, I think you'll make a friend and you'll help that person be where they need to be.
Give him a big hand. Number four, because just a couple of closing. Number one, the ones that are out there right now that think, well, mom and dad are cool right now, everything's great. That's good news. That's great news. But guys, doesn't come a day when you're gonna go, "Ooh, we probably should have made that happen earlier."
Make the decision before you.
Make the decision done. Because you go to mom and dad and say, mom and dad, I know you're in good shape right now, but can we go ahead and pre-decide that this is signed where if I need to help you with that now, might they resist it, the young age? They might. But if you say, mom and dad, we just want to have this just in case, and if they trust you, that's a big deal.
Yeah, and just make sure like I mean, there's all kinds of POAs, healthcare, you know, general. So just make sure you get the right one too.
And that's why getting an attorney involved.
Yeah.
If you haven't done a will yet, do a will and make sure they have a power of attorney for you in case that you need it at your regular school. So the closed story is that so Carolyn is in hospice. And my attorney had to call me and she said, I'm sorry to hear about Carolyn. I said, thank you. She said, now, you know, Jim, you don't own the house. And I went, what? You don't own the house, your wife. And I went, oh, and we had to have her, she was still cognizant, sign a quick it over to me, or if not, my house would have been in jeopardy. Now we got it because
You would have gotten it, but still it would have been probate.
It'd been probate, or exactly right. She said, guys, ask the tough questions now. Everybody's happy and we're at Thanksgiving or dinner together. It sounds so good, but when you wake up and you realize, oh my God, my mother-in-law has got dementia. She has no idea who I am. That's too late.
And that is one of the well-known things in the senior community industry is that business kind of takes off a little bit right after the holidays because
We're very
families
busy.
get together and they think, you know, mom's not doing so good. And so they see this little hump of business come up after the
By
holidays.
that time, it's not clearly being signed, guys. It was not clear.
Yeah, and just know they're always gonna want a lower level of care than what they really need. They might need assisted, but you'll probably not get them there. You'll probably get them into independent. And then just know that that means another move on down the road. Same way if they are in assisted and they really need memory care, same kind of thing. They're always gonna pick the lower level of care. It's just kind of how they do it. But families are going, I don't care. I just need to get them in.
Thank you all so much.
Oh, our pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you all very much, guys. Thank you all for coming this morning. I want you to show up this morning. Thank you all very much. Enjoy your day.